ready? You got me running. Shake it, shake that. Raise your hands up. Raise them out.
All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the next episode of the Daily Currency Call with Forex Trading Asia. So it is Monday, the 13th of September, and it is episode 373. So if it is your first time here, a big welcome and just a quick introduction to the currency call. So we do this currency call every Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. GMT plus 8 time zone. And the currencies we analyze are as follows. We have Monday, the Aussie and Kiwi, Tuesday, the Euro, Wednesday, the Pound, Thursday, Yen and Gold, and then Friday, CAD and the crypto currencies, specifically Ethereum and also Bitcoin. So this is the currency call where you'll get economic market updates, the key and support and resistance levels to pay attention to, the trade ideas that are been proven to be highly profitable and consistent as well when correctly traded, and also more, including educational points as well throughout the week as well. So this is the currency call that is going to be very beneficial to both the long-term investors and the short-term traders. And we'll go through here what could move prices, possible trade ideas, and we'll also highlight the potential targets and risks. Finally, just an important point is any information that is shared during this session is not intended to be a recommendation of a trade. It is solely the opinion and views of the speaker. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades. So how we will start today's call off, guys, is I will go through the US dollar index and we'll just see how it closed for the week and also how it's behaving to start the session off for a new trading week. So we'll go to the charts now, thanks to Sam Trade here. So we've got the US, we have Ethereum, actually, we were discussing it, Daniel and myself, but let's go to the US dollar chart now. And for the index, we are currently trading at above 92.50. And we did see a distinct move on Friday night. And depending where you are in the world, for myself and the team in Singapore, I'm in Perth, we saw it very early in the morning with the US equity markets actually closing lower for a 5th day in a row. Now, there wasn't really anything dramatic when you bring it up on the daily time frame, but there was definitely a bit of a distinct move. And we saw that with the push higher. That was also compounded with the PPI data, which essentially just means, you know, primary production it's just a little more expensive. So what that's indicating is that people are concerned about inflation. And when we have a figure that was printed, although it wasn't really dramatically higher than expected, it was enough combined with that pullback in equities where, you know, there was a push to the safe haven currency, which is the US dollar. And we just, you know, saw it get a lift as well. Now, we haven't really seen much follow through quite yet. It is pushing a little bit higher, but we do have some overhead resistance to be dealing with. Now, I quickly want to touch upon what is happening in the news as well regarding the economic events. So for today, it's quite quiet. As you can see, we really only have the Japanese news out, obviously, and we will go through this in detail as well. We do have the CPI data coming out tomorrow night as well. But for the immediate point of what's happening today, I would just say it's going to be interesting to see how equities play out. The Aussie session is pretty flat for the Australian stock market, and there's nothing really to suggest that anything dramatic is, you know, happening today. It's just probably, well, there wasn't further selling. So we have seen, you know, the equity market sort of stabilize a little bit after there was some, you know, there was some quite fast selling to really end the session in the US on Friday as well, which sort of raised a few points of concern. But again, that the buying the dip approach seems to be still working, and the inflation data coming out tomorrow is going to be quite critical And again, guys, I'll go back to the chart just to reiterate the situation. So it's helpful to refer to the index when you're looking at the majors, and we can see what's going on there. And obviously later in the week, we'll be discussing the euro and then the pound. There are some quite interesting points on the charts. And obviously today we've got the Aussie and the Kiwi in focus too. And, again, those are some, points of interest with where they actually are trading currently. And in focus today, we'll be with Jin, and we'll be discussing any potential trade ideas on the Aussie and the Kiwi as well. So over to you, Jin.
Hey, that caught me by surprise. Thanks for that, Scott. Good morning, everyone. Wait, let me gather my thoughts. What are we on about today? Monday, Aussie and Kiwi dollar. I was just about to reply to Steve. We are not on lockdown, but congrats on getting out of lockdown in regional New South Wales. With that said, let's get into it. So looking at the news here on ForexTradingAsia.com, the economic calendar, what are the news that could move the Aussie or the Kiwi dollar quite significantly this week? Nothing much today. Tomorrow, we've seen some pound news to be released. So I might do a little bit of a change tomorrow. Instead of talking about just the euro dollar and the euro pound, I will tell you a bit more about the pound dollar as well, how to trade these employment numbers to be released at 1400 hours tomorrow. So remember to watch out for that. The US CPI numbers month on month is expected to go from a 0.5% to a 0.4%. So what you see here is we're looking at US CPI numbers dropping off a little bit, but on a year-to-year core CPI is looking at 4.3 to 4.2. So looks like a little bit of a stability there in terms of core CPI, in terms of the inflationary number. A little bit more confidence to be thought of for the US dollar here. And then moving on from that, Wednesday, we do have the pound. I'll tell you more about that on Wednesday. No Aussie or Kiwi news, but look at what's going to happen on Thursday morning at 9:30 GMT plus 8 Singapore time. Employment change number for the month of August expected to go from a 2.2K to a minus 70K. So looking like a drop in employment change numbers, with employment rate looking to increase slightly from a 4.6 to a 4.9. So this number looking to drop is primarily all attributed to what's happening with the chat I'm having with Steve as well, is that we've seen for the last month, or maybe even the last 2 months, quite a major portion of Australia in terms of the economy, in terms of the different areas being on lockdown. And when you have lockdowns being applied, that is going to impact employment numbers because businesses can't open, people can't get out of the house to go to work. Employment change numbers, hence in this case, goes likely to go from a 2.2 to a minus 70K. With that in mind, I actually think that we might see this as even possibly a bit of a bigger number, not just 70. I think we might even see maybe a minus 100. But we all know the reasons why this employment change number is going to be bad, right? So we all know why. It might in fact be slightly priced in or expected already. With the unemployment rate number looking to go from a 4.6 to a 4.9, that's also somewhat expected given that employment change numbers is expected to drop so significantly. So put all that together, what could happen for the Aussie dollar? What I think we could see is some short-term weakening, especially on Thursday with the news being released, but maybe a quick resumption back into the trend, given that it might be priced in or it's already been expected. Following on from that, we have Friday business, New Zealand business PMI numbers looking at about a 62.6. Might stay at about that same number, but I think that in this case, New Zealand having recovered quite quickly from the recent lockdown cases, we might see some stability on the New Zealand dollar on that front. And then after that, a whole bunch of other news. What you'll notice here as a side note is that we've got a lot of euro and pound news to be released this week. So you can kind of get the idea that the focus for this week should be the euro and the pound dollar, with a little bit of a dabbling on the Aussie and the Kiwi. So what this all means on the charts here, the Aussie US on the H4 time frame, it really hasn't done that much since last week. When we spoke about this last week, I was thinking that with the rate statements to be released at that point, we might see some clear directions from the RBA, which we haven't. So I'll take those two lines away. We haven't seen any clear break on either side. But what you notice here is from last week, Monday to now, we've only moved about 100 pips in a total range. And that's actually very tight in terms of an FX currency pair, major currency pair across a period of a week. At this point now, I think that we're going to see the Aussie come back to test that 7395 resistance level. Test that resistance level before, with the news expected on Thursday, expecting it to drop back down again. I don't think I will be a bit more cautious, and don't think it will drop all the way down to 7120. That's too big a drop. That's about a 200 pip drop. With the way the market has been moving quite conservatively, I would say that we might see the Aussie test this 7395 level before it drops back down because of the news. What you could be looking for on the Aussie is a short trade. A short trade. What I mean by short trade is short term, and short as in to sell it. So what you're looking for here is to sell below 7395 at about a 7382. Very tight stop loss of maybe at the most 40 pips. With a good take profit level of 80 pips, you're looking at a 1:2 risk reward ratio towards the downside for the Aussie dollar on the H4 time frame. This is also playing to the fact that we're going to see relatively bad employment numbers coming to be released on Thursday morning. So with the way I think that we might see the Aussie go, looking at the way the Kiwi is likely to move, means that we're possibly going to see it sit and test this 7073 level. You can see that it's been very strong. Since last week, it came down, it tested level, hasn't bounced up as much as we expected. But in this case, what I think is likely to happen is that we're going to see it slowly climb back up again. We're going to see it slowly climb back up again, or actually maybe sit across. What you notice here is that we don't have a lot of Kiwi news. We have one PMI number on Friday morning, but apart from that, everything else is missing. What we do have is some US CPI numbers. What we do have is inflationary numbers from the US. We do have other US employment numbers, retail sales number to be released, and all that could actually move the Kiwi dollar given the lack of news for the Kiwi itself. So what this means and what I expect here is for the Kiwi dollar to possibly sit across, climb up a little bit back towards the 7140 level before possibly turning back down again. So why that 7140 level? We actually can see it, that was last week's point there. So if we're looking at this level, what I could say is that we're possibly looking for some selling opportunities at that point. You can look for it to turn down. 7137, you would have a tight 20-30 pip stop loss for a good 60 pip take profit level. You're looking at a 1:2 or 1:3 risk reward ratio towards the downside. don't be tempted to trade this towards the 7146. There is a good 30-40 pip move upwards, but what's likely to happen at this point is that we could see it hit that or come close before reversing quite quickly. So I would rather be in a position to look to sell it down rather than to try and buy it up and to sell it down. So with all that said, I think that we do have quite a few trading opportunities this week, not just for the Aussie dollar, not just for the Kiwi dollar, but we actually do see some good opportunities for the Euro dollar and the Euro pound, primarily because of the news to be released throughout the week. With that, I'll pass it back to you, Scott.
Thank you for that, Jen. And just guys, if you refer to the chat, there's obviously been the entry points shared on the Kiwi trade idea and also the Aussie. And I have shared the YouTube channel as well that we have. So please feel free to click on that. And then in particular, just with what Jen was talking about with employment data, episode 22 of the Forex trading course goes through the significance and what the employment data actually is all about. So that's around a 16-minute video. Strongly recommend watching that. Again, it's all free of charge on the YouTube channel as well. And I also shared the LCMS 5 steps checklist. And that's just to help you build a trade idea and just to go through, you know, the process that we implement on actually taking trades as well, which is very important because a lot of people go astray because they end up, you know, deviating from a plan. And it's just like anything, you've got to be professional about it. And, you know, again, this resource is all free of charge. We just ask you like and subscribe the channel as well. And it's just filled with helpful resources. Now, coming up, we've got, and this article was shared at the very start of the chat here today on the Euro CAD trade idea. So currency strategist Kim Hong is just going to be sharing his thoughts on this trade idea and just going through the details. So over to you now, Kim Hong.
All right, thank you, Scott. Happy Monday, everyone. Okay, hope you guys are all well rested after the whole action-packed week from the several monetary policy meetings last week. Okay, so today I will be sharing a trade idea with you guys. Now, this trade idea, well, wow, it's a long time ago kind of a trade idea. EuroCAD. Eyes on the Canadian jobs report. Well, this trade idea was actually published back in 3rd of June. Okay, it's like some 3 months ago. Okay, you know what? Let's just jump straight into the chart. All right. So this is actually a straddle setup. Okay, straddle meaning that price was moving within a tight range. Okay, for a period of time, and the market is just waiting for something to happen, you know, be it a major economic data release, major central bank announcement, major political news happening announcement, something like that. All right, before making a decision, before the market makes a decision on which direction to take. Right. So as you can see from this chart here, this is actually on a daily time frame. Okay, so this purple region over here is actually the range that I've highlighted out. It's some 200 pips range. Well, okay, you guys may think that 200 pips is like, wow, it's so wide, but keep in mind that this is actually on a daily time frame. Okay, so 200 pips for a daily time frame, you know, over a period of 21 trading days, 3 weeks, is actually not a lot, to be honest. Okay, so okay, if you guys are not convinced, you know, we can also use our indicators, the Bollinger Bands. So as you can see that, you know, the Bollinger Bands are actually, I would say, converging, okay, towards a point, and you know, it kind of like there's a squeeze around this region over here. Okay, a Bollinger squeeze. That's the phenomenon. There's a name for the phenomenon over here. Okay, so it actually indicates that price are actually, I would say, floating across, okay, ranging across, you know, just waiting for something to happen before making a decision on which direction the market should go on, right? So this trade idea actually took, I think, 1 month to actually trigger. Okay, so it was fired out on I think it was June, right? I say it was June, yeah, early June. And it only got triggered on when is this? July, August, 8th of July, okay? Like this green bullish candle over here. So as you can see, this green line over here, this green dotted line is actually my entry point, okay? So once it got triggered, I actually placed my stop loss below this straddle pattern over here, okay? So it's actually a 250 pip stop loss, okay? And then I actually set a TP at this level over here, which is around 250 as well, 300, okay? So, well, I'm not going to go through the whole, what happened throughout the whole period of time, but as you can see, it went up, came back down, went up, came back down, coming close to the TP level. Okay, at this point, I would like to highlight something. Personally, I will keep my trade on, okay, before it actually hits TP. But on your end, okay, if you guys actually take up these trade ideas, and even for future trade ideas that you guys plan to take up, okay, you guys don't have to wait for the trade to hit the TP level, okay, before realizing the profits, okay. I mean, like on hindsight right now, I think it's a good time for me to highlight this point to you guys, okay. At this level, okay, let me just mark it up. Line. I think it's 1.50, 1.51, I think 1.51. Now, on hindsight, okay, we can see that there were two tests on the 1.51 key level, round level, psychological level, round figure level, however you want to call it, before, it fails to breach above this level, right? So on hindsight, we can see that there's actually two rejections. But, at that point of time, if you guys were to take up this trade and realize that the price was actually testing this 1.51 level, okay, what you guys can do is, although this trade is being fired out on a daily time frame, okay, you guys can actually, just be aware that it's testing 1.51 level and actually go down to a lower time frame like H4 or H1 and check to see if, price is actually planning to, well, if there's a strong conviction, okay, to price breaking above this 1.51 level, okay. So if let's say we would go to H4, now you can see these two over here, okay, these two region over here are actually the test and rejected, okay, attempts. So you can see that, on H4 candles over here, the first attempt, it tested, but it came back down. The candle closes as a bearish candle, okay? And obviously it failed to break above this level, right? So if that's the case, you guys may want to close your trade to secure the profit instead of waiting, for the trade to actually go off or rather hit the TP level, which is probably 100 pips away, okay? Now, if you guys were to miss this chance, the second chance will be over here, the second attempt, it tested, but it failed to break again. And then it hovers across and it come back down. So, yeah, in the future, you guys can make it a bit more flexible, okay? I know you guys, I mean, for like long-term trades like these, I don't expect you guys to keep checking on the trade like every, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a day, probably just have to check it like once a day and things like that, at the end of the day. So if you guys see something like that, like key levels, round levels, psychological level, just pay attention to it, okay? So personally for me, I would want to, hold on to it and see whether it actually hits the TP level or the stop loss level, okay? Also for my journaling purpose, okay? So what happened was that last Wednesday, just before the Bank of Canada monetary policy meeting, okay, I actually decided to close the trade. So as you guys can see, the trade was closed at this candle, okay, this doji-like candle over here. But before, that was actually before it shot up, okay, by an additional, I think, yeah, some 80 pips, 80, 90 pips or so, because due to the Bank of Canada's decision to hold monetary policy unchanged and no tapering was carried out, okay, because of the recent spike in cases in Canada, okay. So which led to slight, I would say, a temporary weakening of the Canadian dollar. Okay, hence dollar kept strengthened, right? So I decided to close in case things happen, right? What if they tapered? If they were to taper, then chances are dollar CAD is going to go down and then back to my break-even level, my entry level. Then I won't be making any profits, right? So I decided to close my trade for 120 pips. And then, yeah, after the announcement, it went back up, okay? And then eventually it came back down, because of oil prices and things like that, right? So at the moment, it's actually going down. So I guess the key takeaway from this, the main point I would say, okay, that I would highlight from this trade idea is that don't just follow strictly to, you need not have to, okay? I mean, of course, with sufficient data from backtesting, you can actually be more convinced to hold your trade, let it run all the way to your TP level and things like that, okay? But in this case, it shows that, the TP level just couldn't make it, right? There was a test once, twice, and, this comes close to that key level of 1.51, and it just come back down, right? So, and most importantly, this whole trade took like 1 month, right? I mean, if you guys can actually, afford to go through this whole roller coaster, up and down and almost hitting stop loss over here and then up again and then come back down again, then yeah, sure, by all means, go ahead and hold a trade, but if not, you guys may want to consider, closing for a strong reason, for decent reasons like Bank of Canada, or testing but failed to break above a key level in order to secure your profits, right? Okay, so that's the end of my sharing today. Yeah, I'll be sharing more trade ideas this week, knowing that there's not any monetary policy meeting going on. So with that, I'll hand it back to Scott.
Thanks for that, Kim Hong. And guys, I have shared as well just the link as well to Forex Trading Asia. That's where a lot of articles are shared as well by Kim Hong and the team here at LCMS. And I've just also shared the link for the Traders Club. So please feel free to click that. That's pretty much where we share, much more regular updates to the private group, just to highlight any upcoming trade ideas, before they play out on that particular, day of a trade that could take place. So, which is very important about the timing aspect as well. I've also shared just a video from the YouTube channel about the importance of just using the higher timeframes if you're new to trading as well. So, but yeah, in regards to the LCMS Traders Club, we've got Daniel here, one of the senior coaches at LCMS, and he's just going to go through what is upcoming in regards to tonight's live trading call to get everyone ready for the trading week. And also, a little bit more details about the LCMS Traders Club as well and how you can get involved in the club. Thanks, Daniel.
Hey, Scott, thank you very much. Yes, indeed. Let me tell you a little bit more about the LCMS Traders Club before I talk about what's going to happen this evening, right? So this is a dedicated club platform, the LCMS Traders Club. Really, anyone who's serious about trading should join us here. Maybe let me share a little bit where my club is. Okay, here you go. Okay, maybe let me share with you the LCMS Traders Club. Really, this is a dedicated platform here. We can see where this is where we host a community of traders sharing strategies, ideas, analysis, monitoring the market together, really as if it's a professional trading firm, right? You already saw what we have from Kim Hong in the market watch list. He will place it here. Really very nice. We have lots of things here, such as currency correlations on a weekend. We give it to you. We also give you a weekly market update, what happened last week, so you can prepare yourself to trade this week here. We have a lot of daily currency analysis links posted up here as well. But most importantly, as well, on the long-term trades market watch, he does put in all the trade ideas here. What his thoughts? Is he still holding on, or if he decided that the trade is no longer valid? This is really the place to be watching out for these long-term and short-term trades. And not only that, we have the trading floor. Okay, you can see in the trading floor, we have a lot of information coming. Any critical news that comes out, interesting news, we will paste it up here as well. Lots of summary updates, market updates on what we are looking at in the market. You know, every day Scott is putting up really very nice, lots of interactions between the club members here and sharing as well. So that's something you should, we actually, most importantly, really critical be here. We also can ask questions here. We will definitely, the coaches will answer you. If not, you know, you can actually DM direct message to any of the coaches, and we'll be very, very happy to share with you as well. And not only that, you can see here, we have a lot of trade ideas, short-term trade ideas. Kimon gives a lot of the medium and long-term. I will issue, and Scott also issues lots of short-term trade ideas and many, many more coming in. Okay, so that's something really important. We also have a lot of those who want to really trade and learn how to trade here. We have lots of education videos. You know, the YouTube channels are everything is free, but we also put in some of our thoughts like Fibonacci, chart patterns, you know, coming in, trend series, divergence, candlestick patterns, and many, many more. And one of the nice things about here is that while we are trading, you know, especially on Wednesdays, live trading sessions, 9 p.m. GMT +8, we have a lot of widgets here, and we're doing news trading, right? We actually use this platform where the calendar, we can actually see what's happening in the market, what's going to come in, and what kind of news probably will be impacting the currency market. But my favorite will still be the data flash. Now, this data flash information does count out, news comes out earlier than anyone else. It also gives you a countdown timing. So we more or less, a lot of coaches here and our live trading, we use this when we do news trading sessions coming in. Okay, so that's something we do. So again, you know, something what can happen tonight here is actually the live. Today is a group coaching sessions. The group coaching sessions here, we will do. We will look at the market. We will be looking at what's happening last week in detail. What's coming happening this week. Plan out for the week. What kind of trading setups we could do. You know, and identify trades and literally try to make profits together. Okay, so really like for example, like last week, you know, we actually talk about Aussie USD, you know, some of the trade ideas I shared you just now, trade Aussie USD, New Zealand USD, Euro USD, what kind of trades, and actually we did that. We took those trades outside. I would also, not only that, whenever these trades are activated, I will be putting in the trading floor, you know, and I let you know that those trades has been activated. So watch out for those and I'll be taking the trades, or it's coming soon, you know, it's coming soon, price is reaching the target, watch out for it, and we're waiting for the news to be happening. So that's what I'll be putting in there as well. So like the Europe, so I will give you updates step by step. If like with that, would I be holding on? You know, lots of people ask questions like, would you be holding on to the trade, or will you be closing off? And that is something that I'll be putting in. Scott also puts in, and all the coaches will put in here what their thoughts and ideas every time. So on Wednesday, then that is something on Monday coming in. So join us tonight. For those club members already, do join us tonight at 8 p.m. GMT +8 Singapore time. Link will be pasted up in the trading floor. Definitely put your trading floor. And then on Wednesdays evening, 9 p.m., we have the Wednesday live trading sessions coming in where we'll be trading together, and do make sure you come in as well. So for those who are not already a club member, this club membership and access to platform is really worth thousands, right? Just go to tradersclub.lcms.com.sg. It's really your chance right now to join all of us at $49 a month. Now, this is really without a doubt, the least you must do to achieve your best in your trading. So this price can change anytime. So do click on it and get on board. And make sure I'll see you on tonight, Monday, 8 p.m. for the group coaching sessions. Scott, back to you.
Thank you, Daniel. And guys, just one more thing to refer to. We've got the link here for the Traders Club in the chat. And the final link that is in the chat is for ForexBriefcase. Now, that is the managed account service where professional traders trade for you using, your account, and you can really benefit from, the professional traders actually taking care of things instead of you stressing over everything. Whilst you even learn in the Traders Club, we have a lot of members that are members of the club, but also diversify their portfolio and actually have, the Forex working for them as well, besides obviously other investment channels. And we're up nearly 100%. It's coming up to 3 years now since inception. Again, please click the website if you'd like to learn more and fill out your details, and we'll be in touch with the process. But that is today's episode, guys, for Monday. Thank you for watching, and hope to see everyone back tomorrow for the Euro analysis. Thanks, guys, and have a great rest of your day.